Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's get it on. From here starts the speaking test. This is the speaking mock test of the International English Language Testing System taking place in Ross IELTS Academy. The candidate is Fardeen Walizadeh. The candidate number is 014-13278. The examiner is Joseph. Examiner number 443533. Good afternoon. My name is Joseph. Would you please tell me your full name?
My name is Fardeen Walizadeh.
And what can I call you?
Walizadeh.
Walizadeh. All right. Can I see your identification?
Yes, sure.
Thanks. That's fine. Thank you. All right. In the first part of the exam, I will ask you some personal questions. First, I'd like to ask you about your education. What do you study?
I studied in Afghanistan, especially I graduated from school in 2019, and now I am used to study English for 1 or 2 months.
All right. Is there something that helps you to study efficiently?
Yes, for sure. Somehow, for example, studying with videos, seeing the videos, and watching the movies, that can help me to study well.
What is more essential for you, lectures or friends?
Friends, because everything that I learn from my friends, it's beautiful for me that when when they are talking with me and we discuss about something, it's very important and for me.
Now let's move on to talk about parks. Are parks important for a city?
For city, somehow, because some people love to be alone, or some people love to have a lot of children's family. They love to has a family park near their home and has a
Are there many public parks or gardens in your country?
Gardens, especially.
Would you prefer to walk in a personal garden or a public garden?
I love to walk in personal garden. You can be comfortable.
Now let's move on to talk about street markets. When was the last time you went to a street market?
I have never went there.
What do people usually buy on the street market?
It depends to the personality of a person, what they would need and what they want for their family. For example, they have a different culture. They love to buy different things from there.
Would you like to go to the street market in a foreign country, and why?
Yeah, sure, because I love to see different things around the world, around the other countries, especially their culture, the different things that they has a big difference with our culture, and that's why I love to.
All right, this is the end of part 1. In part 2, I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. And you can make notes if you wish.
Yes, sure.
But don't worry if I stopped you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The topic is, talk about a singer or a music band that you listen to frequently. Here's your cue card.
Thank you.
Here's your pen.
Thank you.
And your 1 minute preparation time starts now. Okay, your 1 minute preparation time is over. You can speak now.
The first time that I heard about a band by the name of uh, Afghan band, they were I mean, they don't are rock players. They are like playing soft music, or for example, they are playing different kind of musics, and their leader was Muhammad, but I think nowadays someone other else leading them, and they are playing. It's a famous band in our country, and we love them, and their song, they sing different, they play different musics, and it is I think it make someone to be relaxed when you hear about them. The first time that I was heard their song, I mean, I was 40 or 30 years old, and I heard about them. Then I heard about them, their music, and I became their fan, and I make when I hear their song, I try to sing with them, and it's make me very be relaxed and comfortable, especially when you live when you study hard or something else, or when you do hard job. After that, when you listen to that band, it makes you relax and be comfortable. And before I especially I love to hear their music before sleeping, because it makes me to be comfortable and be relaxed.
All right, your 2 minute time is over. We can now move on to the third part, but before that, please hand me back the paper and the pen. Thank you. All right. We've been talking about a singer or a music band that you listen to frequently. And I'd now like to ask you some questions related to this. What kind of music is popular in your country?
Especially the music of like culture musics. They use a lot. It's famous in our country, but from foreign countries, our people don't love. They just love to hear about. They sing from, and they sing with the songs they loved, and it has a difference with the language, and they love. For example, they love the guitar in our country. Playing guitar, people who play guitar, they love a lot.
Okay, at what age can people go clubbing in your country?
We don't have a special club in our country.
Okay, do you think it's possible to judge someone's personality from their taste in music?
According to my opinion, it doesn't mean that we have it doesn't mean when a person loved songs, different kind of songs, for example rock or pop, they don't show their personality. We can't judge a person by their for example clothing, or by their listening. When they are listening to the music, we can't do that.
Perfect. Do you think pop stars can be a bad influence on teenagers? Why?
I mean, pop, it's depend to the person. For example, you a teenager under the age of 14, 50 or 60 years old, it's not a lot, because they are used a lot of different bad words, and they don't love that. Somehow they learn, they study something from them, and they want to do that because their brain is not perfectly working in that age, and they can decide what to do.
All right, this is the end of the speaking test. Now you can sit back, take a deep breath and relax. But please give me 2 minute time to review your performance.
Sure.
Speaking course. This course is made up of 5 offline speaking videos in which you will learn all the necessary tips and techniques to take the IELTS speaking test with a high score.
Tell me about your family. Do you like...
In addition to that, you will have access to useful grammar and vocabulary resources. Once you finish your course, you will have 1 online mock test of speaking along with comprehensive feedback under the same exam conditions.
Interesting question. A very...
Join us to become our next successful candidate.
All right, now we're going to review how you did today. Well, we assess and evaluate your overall band score based on 4 criteria. The first is fluency and coherence. The second is lexical resource or vocabulary, words that you use. The third is grammatical range and accuracy. And the final one, pronunciation. So let's begin with fluency and coherence. So you were able to maintain the flow of speech. You were speaking easily without any noticeable effort. And whatever the question would be, you provide the relative answer to that question. But you need to use a wider range of connectives, the linking words, although, however, like those words, you were using only and, so, or, those simple connectives. So try to pay attention to this part in order to get a higher band score, at least in fluency and coherence. So try to pay attention to the connectives. When it comes to lexical resource or your vocabulary, you have a wide enough vocabulary to discuss topics at length, and you're really conveying the messages easily using some very good words. And sometimes collocations like culture music, you use such words in order to express your ideas. It was okay, but you need to paraphrase yourself and my questions. You need to paraphrase at least the examiner's questions. For example, if I ask you a question about the benefits, the advantages of something, you can use, yes, the pros and cons of that issue. You can name them and you can rephrase and reword my question. This is very important for each candidate to get a higher band score. So unfortunately, you did not pay attention to this part of the speaking test. So try to paraphrase, try to rephrase and reword the questions. And do not stick to certain words. Do not use some words over and over. Try to find some synonyms for those words. But I like the way you said that we cannot judge a person by something. We cannot judge a person by something. This is very natural, and you have not memorized it. It just came across your mind, and you used it on the spot. So it's perfect. Keep up the good work, and try to pay attention to what I told you. Paraphrasing is very important. Now, grammatical range and accuracy. Well, you were able to produce basic sentence forms with reasonable accuracy, but you have to pay attention to complex structures. Try to use conditional sentences or some conditional sentences or relative clauses, subordinate clauses. Try to use them. Try to show yourself and flaunt your capability in using a wide range of complex structures. You did use simple sentence forms, which is okay, with a couple of mistakes, like you said, they has instead of they have, or have never went to a place. I have never gone to that place. You had a few mistakes here and there in the grammar, and you have to pay attention to this part in order to get a higher band score. And when it comes to pronunciation, you had a few mistakes and mispronunciations. Of course, you were going on naturally, but you need to pay attention to some certain words. It's love, not lav. You said lav a couple of times. You said brine instead of brain. It's brain, not brine. So pay attention to those specific words that may be problematic for you, and just fix those problems. And also pay attention to the rise and fall and the intonation. Try to convey the messages sometimes with the rise and fall. When you use an intonation and we use the rhythm while you're speaking, your messages can be conveyed in a stronger manner. So try to pay attention to this part as well, and you will definitely be at least 7 if you take care of those tips that I told you right now.
Yeah,
Any questions?
No, thank you.
Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.